All right, guys, what is up? It's Patrick here. Let's get into today's trading day. I've did some kind of a forecast on my Instagram page. Make sure you follow me if you are interested in daily markups, daily forecasts. It's not like signal. I'm not giving signals. I'm not giving trade. I mean not trade ideas, but I can give you trade ideas. But it's not like that I mentioned in the previous video. I'm not going to tell you that you should place your entry here. You should place your stop loss and TP there and there. It's just like the purpose of these videos is just solely like education and just basically presenting my views and presenting my ideas to you. I'm not like another guru or stuff like that. I'm not, expecting any kind of subscription, any kind of, charity from you. It's just me, my journey, my view, my strategy, my, things on the chart and on the market. Um, to be honest, I'm learning a lot while I'm making these videos. So it's super freaking helpful. And in the past few days when I did record a video and I upload it, and I usually watch it after I upload it to YouTube, learn a lot while I'm explaining it to you. I learn a lot also. I mean, my ideas, or if I did something stupid, or by the time I'm realizing, or by the time I'm explaining it to you live, I just realized that, oh, that should have been done like that. So super helpful. Let me know in the comment section, or just reach out to me in my DMs on Instagram. That do you think it's helpful for you? Do you want any kind of videos which are like more in depth of my strategy? Or if you don't understand something that I'm showing you, I'm super happy to make these kind of videos. But unless you are like, I'm not chasing views, I'm not chasing any kind of subscriptions or stuff like that. So unless you're interested, I'm not gonna make these videos. I was planning it to make those videos, of course, in the near future, but just let me know if you are interested. At the moment, I can do it for you in my free time. So it's absolutely, for me, it's a pleasure if you are interested. Anyway, let's get into today's trading day. So I did make a markup, kind of a markup picture on Instagram. Forecasting. I'm not forecasting. I don't like using this word because basically we were around like here, probably somewhere around, yeah, somewhere around here when I did upload the video. And I marked this 4 hour fair value gap, which got respected by this bullish candle. We closed inside the bullish fair value gap, so that was a clean indication that we are respecting the bullish order flow. Since it's a big time frame and we did respect this for our fair value gap, I was expecting that we are going to take yesterday's data highs out of the way, and we are not going to go down to these lows and these lows. And even though it's a big liquidity pool, but this fair value gap got respected yesterday or 2 days. No, sorry, it was last week. Anyways, it got respected. We didn't have anything here in the past 2 3 days. I had only this confluence. Let's put it that way. So I just quickly, usually I check the 4 hour time frame. That's the most important for me, for my strategy. I mean, not, it's how to say that, to make my bias as clear as I can, or as clear as possible. I usually check the 4 hour time frame. That's where I can make assumptions, or make uh, you know decide whether or not we're going to be bullish or bearish. Or I'm just gonna check the 4 hour time frame. I align the rest of the time frames that I check. For example, the 1 hour, the 30, the 15-minute time frame. I always align it with the 4 hour time frame, and usually with the daily chart, because that's a clear indication where price really want to go. You can make like pretty good. um Basically, you can decide straight away if you check the 4 hour time frame if we are bullish or bearish, because usually we have clear indications that where we want to move exactly. I'm not exactly, but the direction itself. So I had this bias. We had wait, let me check the 1 hour time frame. So yeah, we were respecting this 4 hour for value gap here. I just switched to the 30 minute. It's just but on the 30 minute we closed below, but on the 1 hour we just made a big ass wick. We hit this order block here, and we continued moving to the upside. What has happened here was so I did make a markup around, like, I think it was like here, and I was expecting price first of all to hit, where was it? I think this one right here. No, let me check, double check, because that was CPI here. Anyways, we had this was the yeah, it's because I deleted these shitty thingies, but I usually do these you know dotted lines to mark out 8:30 and 9:30. So with this movement, we took out the highs which were here. It was high, I think it was London highs. We took out those and we started to move straight down. And to be honest, and I wrote it in the markup picture also, that I'm expecting, because it was mitigated already here. So I was expecting price either with the news or after market open to mitigate this 4 hour fair value gap and this 1 hour fair value gap as well. We did it like pretty like straight away after the news release at 8:30 New York Standard Eastern Standard Time. Sorry. So we did this freaking ass movement here, and we just came down like straight away. It was super super fast, like super fast. And then we came back. Um, you know what? I was lying to you because it did not take London highs. It was just the news, and I did mark up this one here. I'll show you in a sec. So the data highs. So it's more clear now. I just move this away. So I'm gonna explain everything to you. So we had the news release at 8:30. We mitigated the fair value gaps that I wanted to see mitigated, and I think here I deleted it by the time I was like I was trading, and it was so disturbing here because it has been already mitigated. London lows and Asian lows were like top of each other. Oh shit! I just bit on the screen. Anyway, yeah. So the news took out everything important, and we did close. Not sorry, we didn't close under this fair value gap. So we did not inverse any fair value gap. We just mitigated all of them. We took out all the sell side liquidity, which were important for me. We took those out. We moved back to the upside, but after that, as you can see, we moved down again. But on the 2 minute time frame, or even in the 5 minute time frame, you can see that basically this is, for me, this movement here, it's not disrespecting, it's not disrespecting for value gap, because we even though we closed below the fair value gap, so we crushed through this fair value gap and closed below the fair value gap, I wouldn't think this as a inversion in this scenario. And also, this is a huge candle, and I just covered it yesterday. I wouldn't, and obviously this was at 8:30. I'm not trading at 8:30. I always wait until 9:30 a.m. In Eastern Standard Time, New York local time. um so I wait for this. I've never trade. I'm not saying I'm never trade, because in the past, I think, no, sorry, not past, but I think 2 days ago I made a trade in London session, but that was a different scenario. I had like a plus plus setup, so I kind of like had to, because whenever my setup is clearly there 100%, 100%, if it's there 90%, 80%, I'm not trading it, especially if it's London session. If it's New York session and my strategy is there and I miss some confluences, I don't trade. But this was like super super clean, I think 2 days ago. 2 days ago exactly, yeah. So we went down to quote all the highs, and I was just out of curiosity, I marked these. Oh my god, I'm fucking move this away. So I marked these. Here we go. This 5 minute for oh shit. This 5 minute for value gap here, because if it would have been market open like eight, let's pretend it's 9:30. So we come up, we take out some highs, we go down, take out everything, and then we start to reverse. We have a higher time frame, because I'm trading, or I placing my trades on the 1 minute or the 2 minute, but most, like, usually I trade on the 1 minute, so I am executing on the 1 minute time frame. But if I'm looking for inverse for value gaps like this one, I try I try to look for the highest time frame inversion for value gap, or the for value gap, and I'm looking for the inversion of that for value gap, not the inversion value for value gap that I'm looking for. I'm waiting for a higher time frame for value gap disrespect inversion. Let's put it that way. If it's just so, for example, if the 5 minute, which is more important than the 1 minute for me, it's super up, and my target is like, let's pretend I want to enter here, and my target is somewhere, this one here, or this one here. It's pretty close. So if there is a 2 minute or a 1 minute inversion down below, I enter on that one. But as you can see, there was none. And it's just an example. I just put this. I marked this for value gap out, and I was curious what price is doing. I saw that it got inversed, but we were like moving sideways, and I had a pretty clean bias that upon market open, we are going to take out the news high, the data highs, which we had at 8:30, the CPI news today. So as you can see, I'm gonna mark this one out also. La, la, la. This is market open. These how do you call it? I'm super dumb, bro. Dashed line, bro. Dashed line. So this dashed line that indicates market open, and I'm gonna explain my trades at the same time. Don't worry. So, because I remember myself when I was looking at these trade recaps from other traders and stuff like that, and I saw these, this one, the long setup and short setup. I was constantly looking at like this, and come on, just fucking explain it. And I'll get to that point also, but let me explain it first. So we had this accumulation just before market open, half an hour, 25 minutes before market open. We had this accumulation, and then by the time we reached 9:30, we slowly moved above what? We moved above data highs. Can I? Of course I cannot. Let's pretend that let's pretend it's here. Anyways, so we took at these highs. I deleted because so many freaking lines here already. So we took at these highs, and then I had a beautiful after that movement, because we had a huge ass movement on market open. If you see this one, or I just zoom in, this was market open 9:30. After, like, before 9:30, we left a nice undecisive candle, a volumish candle, and another like small body, but let's say wick full candle, which a huge wick here, a huge wick here, a small body, and the small and the like a medium wick here, and just a full body candle. That's for me. That's the perfect A plus for Val Gap. Swept out data highs. We left a 5 minute for Val Gap here, and I was clearly looking for that inversion, that 5 minute farewell gap to get inversed. And I was, okay, even though my bias on the day was bullish, I was expecting, price to come down and, mitigate this farewell gap, maybe this 1 hour farewell gap above this 4 hour that I marked out and that I showed you in the beginning. I had this 1 hour farewell gap also, which got mitigated by the news. But I was expecting price to sweep out data highs, CPI highs, the news highs, and then come down to mitigate the 1 hour farewell gap again, as to act like as a support. Take out these equal lows, look at these equal lows and this accumulation liquidity pool here. And I was low key expecting, not expecting, but at least to touch this fair value gap. That was my target. But I marked this out to just leave like it depends. So if we would have aggressively closing or aggressively coming into this fair value gap, I would have looking for, like, I don't know. I was expecting this to be taken out also. But anyway, it was not my target. It was not my target. I was just expecting this to be taken out and then reversing off of that or the fair value gap. So I had two contracts. I crushed through this fair value gap. So I entered. I'm gonna wait. It's easier if I put it like this. Ooh, that was slow. So yeah, I entered on this candle closure. Maybe on the 2 minute. I think I entered here. Yeah, somewhere. Anyways, it's just here. You can see that it's here. So I entered on that candle. I was targeting. That was my first target. These equal lows and this um, blah, 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 liquidity pool. So this accumulation here, which we did around like nine-ish, nine. Yeah, nine. Yeah, exactly. So we had equal lows, nice liquidity pools, uh, and I had this 1 hour for value gap. That was my final TP point. I took out one contract here, because I've reached this one. So we came here. I was on the bottom when we pushed here, and then I just quickly removed one contract here. So I did make a partial here. I did make a partial after we reached this point, and I set my stop to break even. So that was basically a free trade after I took this partial here at this point and this candle here. I take out one contract here, and but it was so freaking close, bro. So freaking nowadays, in the past few days, if you double check my previous videos, it was like this, it was like exactly this. Anyway, I was waiting for this. My final TP was like inches away, but at the same time, I usually checking S&P 500, because these assets are correlated. So I was checking ES also, and ES was making already a higher high, and Nasdaq was taking out these equal lows and then started to move aggressively. If you check this candle on the 1 minute time frame, it moved so aggressively. And at this time, I was super, undecisive that what to do exactly, because I was like, should I just close my position fully, or should I just, leave it on break even, and we might just, reverse from this candle. Maybe we're just going to rebalance a higher time frame, like this one here, because I'm expecting this rebalance and then just go. I'm not expecting, because I had this for value gap here, and I marked this out, and I was like, if we close way above this for value gap, I'm gonna remove my position. I'm not waiting for a price to hit my stop loss. Basically, even though it was on break even already, so it would have been a loss. It would have been zero after the whatever the partial profit. It would have been, break even, or like stop loss basically. But I removed my entire position on this candle, like as soon as it closed here on the top, this one, because it was a big ass candle. It could have been closed here, so I would just, anyway, it doesn't matter how much did I make on this trade. I mean, at the time I was trading it, it doesn't matter. It's just, what matters is your psychology and your management of your position, and stuff like that. So I removed my position. I was pretty concerned that it's gonna reverse, because ES already made a higher high. We took out important lows, these equal lows, and we started to reverse aggressively. So it's not like, okay, 1 millimeter closure above that fair value gap. I would like, if this candle here would have been closing just right above that, this fair value gap here, I would have hold it for a little longer, but it did not. With the big ass volume, we just crashed through this fair value gap. So I decided to remove my position, because ES was making already a higher high. So we had an SMT divergence. So I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna risk more than that. So I removed my entire position at this candle closure here. But after upon checking, ES, I was like, this is usually my A plus setup as well. That we manipulate some kind of lows here, and that was my original plan. Actually, that was my original plan, that we're gonna come here and we're gonna reverse off of these, equal lows for value gap, and just targeting previous data highs from yesterday. Because this one here, if I zoom out, this is this is data highs from yesterday. Anyway, so that was my okay. You know what? Just quickly explain it. So after I closed this one, I was pretty biased that it's gonna be a full reversal, and we are going to target yesterday's data highs. So yesterday's news. These yesterday's highs, which were created by the news. So that was my target. So I was pretty biased. Okay, this is the reversal that I was looking for originally before this short, because I was looking for a long today, but it was super super clean price action today for me, for my setup, and from my, for my views, that we took out these highs, we crushed through this 5 minute fair value gap, and we had a clear drawn on liquidity, either this equal lows with this liquidity pool, and then this fair value gap. It would have been nice to hit my TP entirely. It was a beautiful trade. Anyways, I took out my position earlier than break even. I'm so happy about that. I would do the same thing over again. So I think it's just fine for me. You can say that otherwise. I don't really mind. And I entered pretty late. So because I was really, busy removing my position from the short setup, and I was looking for other confluences and what is happening at ES, and like, so I was not like, if I would have waiting for this setup, I would have entered on this candle closure for a long setup targeting these equal highs. As you can see, it's almost relative free equal highs, and then my second target was yesterday's news highs. But I entered pretty late. I entered on this candle closure here. I mean, sorry, this candle closure here, and I was like, okay, I had a winning trade. Let's put it that way, a partial, and I removed my position before break even. So for me, it's a winner. I took what was offered to me, and I took the opportunity, and I made some money on it. After that, when I entered this long, I was pretty sure we're gonna take out these equal highs, and from that point, I don't mind. I decided, okay, I entered on this trade with half risk. I entered this trade with half risk because I did already a trade before. So I entered this long setup with a half risk, targeting these equal highs, and I decided I'm gonna put my stop loss uh, on break even, and I removed also one contract here. I removed, like, I did make a partial here, and I moved my stop to break even, and it hit my, basically stop loss, because my stop was here on break even, and this candle just closed me out, which is really unfortunate if you check it, because After this, we never came back. We never came back, and price just hit my original target, which was yesterday's highs. But I'm super fine. I made around, I think, 940 today. I'm super happy. I did participate in the two big major moves. It's just unfortunate. Both of them are super unlucky that this short didn't hit my final TP by inches because we had the SMT divergence of ES. You know, ES was making a higher high, and ES was already going towards that data highs from yesterday. So for NQ, it was no reason to go even deeper. So we started to reverse. This is really unfortunate also because I was managing this short position closing, and stuff like that, and just started to look for the confluences, and everything is aligning with my long setup. It's not like, okay, so we had this farewell gap inverse. I'm long. So it's not like that. It's not like that for me. I need to look for other confluences. I need to look for other things to make sure that I'm risking my money something vertful or something verty. Vertful, it's not even an existing word. So something verty, So I'm not like throwing out the money out of the window for no reason. So yeah, I entered on a long setup as well with smaller risk. I targeted this small move, so I think it was a one on one. I think so, or something like that. I think it's yeah. I think it was 116 RR. Removed half of my position and I moved my stop to break even just as I did on the short setup. But I was just talking to myself that if I would have entered on this candle closure, which was my real setup because sweep has happened, ES was making a higher high, we did make a manipulation sweeping out these equal lows, and then with a huge S volume and the fair value gap inversion, we started to reverse. It's an A plus setup as well, but by the time I was managing my short setup, I didn't really have the time to think about it and have my 3 second rule that I'm thinking for 3 seconds or counting for free before I enter a trade to make sure that I'm not doing anything stupid because I blown accounts just as you did, most likely. I learned my lesson, so it's better be on the safe side. I rather enter a little bit late and then make a partial and stop out at break even, or didn't even make, or don't even make a partial, just getting stopped out at break even. That's much better than taking a loss because you are rushing or stuff like that. It's You shouldn't do this because of the money. I know it sounds stupid. It's like I'm telling you, you shouldn't work for money. Obviously, you need to think about it because it's part of the game. But you need to get better. It's like the Olympic sportmen's are like focusing on money while they are training for the Olympic Games. It's not like that. You need to focus on your game. You need to focus on your mental, and money will come eventually if you get better, more focused. You get your shit together. Your psychology is better. Your risk management is good, and you know your fucking edge, and everything will come after that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. If I would have entered on this candle closure, the original inversion of this Verval gap, this wouldn't, like, maybe I don't know, maybe by a little, maybe I could have TP'd out fully, but it's a let's leave this story for another day. I'm happy overall with these trades. I'm happy that I was able to participate and make some money out of it. So that's perfect. Hope you guys found this recap video useful. I think it's a beautiful day. Um, Overall, super happy about price action. It's not the most beautiful in the past few days, but come on, man, you need to adapt. You need to observe, and if your edge is there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. You cannot blame price action. It's an algorithm. It's your decision at the end of the day if you take part of this movement or not, or risk your money or not. Nobody else can decide it for you. It's